Hello, this is African Payroll. In this African Payroll, once I select the module African Payroll from the list of the modules I have here, so I have the option of I have the periodic journal, and the setup, and the inquiry, which has to do with the report as well. So ordinarily, before you start using the application, you need to do some setup of some of these parameters and variables that the application itself or the solution itself works with. Something like the monthly variables, where we have the worker, the group description, the salary group. Some of these things has to be set up. Then we have also the relief, the we also have the relief here, where you enter the salary grade, the worker, the relief group, the description. Then we also have tax, where we input the different types of taxes that can be deducted from an employee's salary. Then you have the statutory deductions. We have the earning deduction, the pay period. So the pay period talks about the months starting from a certain period of starting from when an employee is being employed, the first month and the year. So that entails the pay period. Then we also, after doing that, we also have to go back to set the payroll parameters, where we have the period, the relief amount, the relief mandatory percent, the minimum percent, and the name itself. So having said that, we can now go back to our common to look at the list of employees. Now, an employee, once anybody is employed in the establishment, so this gives you an overview of the entire employee in the establishment. So, and this give you some of their information. So once you click on any particular employee, so you can get the details of their information other than the ones that were displayed there. You can get their address, their contact information, their personal information. So then coupled with their first name, last name, and middle name. So that's that. Then you can also add a new employer, employee by clicking on the new button. Once you click on the new button, it pops up this window where you have to enter the fill out this form to enter the name, the first name, the middle name, the last name. Then you also have to enter the start date, the the personal employee number is automatically generated. Then the position, you also have to choose the assignment start and the assignment end. Then once these things are filling, okay, uh, let's just do something here. Let's say Maya, then middle name, no middle name, we can just add Joy. Sorry, let's say Maya. Let me replace this with Joy. So once that is done, you can choose the employee start date. Then what else? Then assignment starts so and so time. Then we can have the option of clicking higher and add details. That is if you just want to add this to the list. But then if you also want to add more details to it, you can just click on this. Then that is being processed. Our request is being processed. So we'll have to wait for a little while to see what happens. So now that is done, then we can now see from here, we can now add more details. We can add address to this, contact information, and the rest of them. Like here, we can add a new line, name or description, address, purpose, primary, and the rest of that. So you can also add more details, personal, and the other forms of information that is related to this employee. Then we can also move. This is just like the profile. When we click on the employment, we can see more details concerning the employment. We can also fill out most of the things that are vacant, blank here. Then we can also add their compensation. So we can also fill that out here. Their competence and development can also be taken care of here. Commerce and time registration. So that tells you how detailed this is. So when we go back to our employee, then we will now notice that we now have Jeremiah here as an employee. So that is that for that. So we've successfully added an employee. Then we can also go back to this to look at the salary grade. So on this salary grade, we basically set the salary grade just like in every establishment. There is a grade level to the salaries. So you have an entry level, you have either step one or whatever nomenclature that the establishment normally use to grade their salaries. So you can add that this is just like an example of that, where we have entry, we have the gross amount, the total deduction, total relief, tax, net payout. So these are just what you have to impute in this application based on whatever works for the establishment or the company. Then whichever one you add, you also have the option of this is the header, where we also add the references here to the line. So we also okay, that's all we have on this common, the employee and the salary grade. So basically that's where we have to add those things there. So on the periodic journal, so we can now look at the journal creation. So where we now on this journal creation, we have to select add the batch number, the payment period, the type, the salary grade, and the worker. So then we can also add the lines to add the references to what payment we are also trying to make there. Then in the payroll as well, so we can also look at this to look at the worker, the pay period, the description of the payment, the total earning, total deduction, tax, and this give us an overview of the pay, what a particular employee is being paid, and the breakdown of the payment. So this is basically how the African payroll works. So I believe this, to an extent, uh, explain or take care of the basic features of this application. Okay, thanks.